Hi, this is Ron Edwards, Master Sommelier and Director of Wine Education for Winebow. And I wanted to bring you into the world of some really great Merlot today through a legendary producer from Washington State, ECOLE Winery, NO.41. One of the wineries that really laid the foundation for the greatness of what Washington State is today. And the first one we're going to taste from them is their Columbia Valley, so appellated, Merlot from 2017. This wine comes from 7 different vineyard sites, kind of spread across Columbia Valley, from the Estate Seven Hills Vineyard, Bacchus and Dionysus, Candy Mountain, Clipson, Winebow, Pepperbridge, and Stone Tree Vineyards. So by blending from that much of the appellation and getting those 7 different vineyard sites, they get a chance to choose and pick the right grapes from the right place to make this kind of wine, this kind of Merlot that's accessible and delicious and very classically Washington State. It's 81% Merlot, 14% Cabernet Franc, 3% Malbec, and 2% Petit Verdot. This is a really classic example structurally of what you get out of Washington State, where the warm days and the desert cool nights of the region tend to get the wines both ripe and refreshing at the same time. So this has it's at that 14.5% alcohol range, which makes it powerful, but it's down in that 3.66 pH. So it actually has some refreshing side, sort of that same sort of pH you would see in Bordeaux or a cooler climate than what you think of. But Washington State, while being very arid and can be very warm and continental, has a very cool side to it, especially that difference between daytime temperature and nighttime temperature. So that's probably a good basic about it. So let's taste it. What do you say? Start with the smell. Classic appearance, that deep ruby going to purple color that Merlot tends to present. All right, so we have black plum, blackberry, both fresh and kind of compoted. There's black cherry in here. This wine sees 30% new oak, and it shows on the nose where it brings across this sort of dusty cocoa powder, almost like the smell of a Swiss Miss instant cocoa package as you open it up and the dust flies in the air. Alongside of some baking spices, that sort of cinnamon clove combination that you get from new oak. And then there's just sort of a thread of vanilla meets sort of caramel. There's a little smoky, dried herbal nature to this wine. Let's see what it tastes like. Wonderfully rich on the palate and very satiny textured, moving towards the feel of velvet across the tongue. Definitely for people who like rich and sumptuous red wines, this is totally for you. The real rich, ripe, almost conserved fruit in the nose actually backs off a little bit into a different level of ripeness on the palate and starts to show fresh blackberry and fresh black plum, fresh black cherry. And then it goes back into having some of those fruits either mixed and crushed into fresh, or maybe even moving into what would be made into fruit conserve. The oak shows up in the same sort of cocoa powder, dusty texture. The tannin on this wine, the grip or the bitterness, is really well integrated into the fruit, and it just comes across as sort of a powdery, pleasant change in the texture and release from the richness of the fruit. The vanilla's there, the caramel's there. The cocoa powder is definitely there. Very classic for Merlot to have that sort of signature when it interacts with new oak. In general, the wine really speaks to the quality of NO.41 as a winemaking family facility. Really stylish, really elegant, and, you know, powerful for people who are looking for a sturdy glass of wine. This is a Merlot for them. I'm enjoying this. I think you will too. Go find a bottle.